Hi, I'm Bill Snyder, Sports Information Director at Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College, and welcome to another edition of Bulldog Blitz. Well, we've turned the calendar to November, and as they say, they only remember what you did in November. That means it's playoff time. The Bulldogs in the playoffs for the 6th straight season, for the 7th time since 2005, and another South Division title. With me, as always, the architect, Gulf Coast head coach Steve Campbell. Coach, congratulations on another playoff season, another South Division title. Feels good to be where we are at this time of the year.
It does, Bill. Anytime you can win the South Division, that's something that you're proud of, but that's not what that wasn't the goal that we set out for at the beginning of the year. Our big goal, of course, is to win the state championship and have a chance to represent our state in the Mississippi Bowl. So we've still got a lot of goals out there in front of us, and it's good to knock out that one goal of winning the South championship, but we've still got a lot of bigger fish in front of us that we want to go catch and fry up. So it starts this week with the big game against Northwest.
Mm-hmm. That's right. We'll be talking about the huge playoff game with Northwest coming in a little bit later. In a few minutes, we're going to take a look at that big win over East Central. And, Coach, went over a few of the milestones. And, when you look at it, it's kind of now it's expected, and that's what you want. But at the same time, you don't want to take it for granted, I guess. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of that balancing act.
It is. You never want to take success for granted, or it'll go away. So we really cherish each and every victory that we have, and understand how hard it is to accomplish. What it is that you're trying to accomplish. Each goal that you reach. We won the South Division championship. To me, that's a great accomplishment because we play in the toughest division in all of junior college football. When you look at the MACJC, we're the only league in the country with 14 teams, and we're divided into a north and south with 7 in each. So if you win, and the South is traditionally the toughest. You've got a lot of great programs with a lot of great tradition in the South with the Pearl Rivers, the Hineses, the Southwest Jones, what's made up, not to mention Colin, who has been great over since Coach Davis has been there in the last 9 years. So a lot of great programs. We accomplished one goal, which was winning the South, giving ourselves a chance to have home field advantage, and we respect that and all that, but that's not our ultimate goal. Our ultimate goal is to win the state championship and to play hopefully for a national championship, and you can only do that by taking care of business one week at a time, and of course we've got a great game coming up this weekend. So you do pay homage to what you've done, but you can't sit and look back at it for long because there's another game coming up, and ultimately that's what you're trying to accomplish.
Not time for the jelly beans and the water balloons just yet.
Not yet. There's never any time during the season to really look back and to go, wow, there's always something else out there, and you got to be looking forward, and we're definitely looking forward to this week's game.
Of course, the Bulldogs in late season form where they want to be, kind of like Coach and are in sync, with the exception of the collar. We coordinated this pretty good. The Bulldogs pretty coordinated, as you're about to see, as they took care of East Central last Saturday in homecoming. We're going to take a look at that action coming up right after this break. You're watching Bulldog Blitz here on WLOX. Now play action. Hatton going deep, wide open. JoJo Snell, forget about it. Touchdown Bulldogs. The wheel route puts up 6.
Wasn't that pretty? You can see him come out of the backfield. He was wide open, wasn't anybody within 10, 15 yards of him. Beautiful touch and go. Bulldogs hit.
Hall rolls to his left, looking for somebody to throw to. Now fires it up, and that pass is picked off by Nigel Green. Green to the 40, Green to midfield, into East Central territory, and this is a pick 6 for Nigel. Touchdown Bulldogs.
No, there is a flag. Is that a flag right at the
I think that is, yeah.
line?
Unsportsmanlike.
Wow, it puts
It must have happened before the touchdown. Otherwise, they would have penalized him on the kickoffs. Dietrich Goff in at running back. They give to Goff on the inside draw. He muscles in. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Well, they didn't get it on the pick six. They get it the old-fashioned way. They earn it from the one.
No, Bill, they had both of our superbacks that time over on the left side.
Now Hatton throws the slant, and it is caught for the two-point conversion by DeQuil Williams. So the Bulldogs are now up 14-0. Bulldogs on the blitz. They flush Hall. Hall trying to make something happen. He's going to try to run it, and he is dragged down by Brandon Keel. Containment equals a sack, and that stops the drive.
And you know that was inexperience right there. That shows that he hadn't been playing, shows the speed of the linebackers to get over.
Hatton looking left, throws a little flare out to Byron Nettles. He tiptoes in, touchdown Bulldogs. So Byron gets back into his mode of catching touchdown passes.
I'm glad to see that happen. He needed it, the team needed it, and it makes everybody feel better because he seems that his foot's doing much better out there today.
He'll have the wind behind him a little bit. A high snap, it goes over his head. Here we go, Franklin gets away, tries to do a rugby kick. It turns into a Garo Yepremian play. It's picked up by Eli Hughes, and that's a Bulldog touchdown.
You can't. I don't know how you call it. He punted it at about a yard, and it was picked up by Hughes.
He did the Garo Yepremian play in the Super Bowl. Bulldogs trying to add to the 27-0 lead. Play action, pump fake, going deep to DeQuil. That's too easy, and that's another touchdown to DeQuil Williams, and he got hammered in the end zone. Let's see if he's okay. See Danny Anderson and the Gulf Coast training staff, Steve Campbell, also very concerned. We're very happy that DeQuil is okay. They're bringing him over, and it looks like, I think he just got knocked woozy. Now Brock in trouble, fumbles the football. It's free and taken at the 9. I believe one of the East Central linemen got to it, but another near disaster caused by Cavellis Luckin and Warren Conway. Now in the game at quarterback and throwing an interception is Zach Thrasher. They put in Thrasher, the sophomore from New Hope, and he threw it right to Dawson Wells, and that's the third turnover of the game for the Bulldogs. High snap, Thrasher on the option. Martin's in trouble. He drops the ball. It's loose over on the far sideline, and I believe the Bulldogs have it, and they do.
Including our homecoming queens from the Jackson County campus, Jefferson Davis campus, and the Ferguson campus.
Now in play action, Hatton going deep, looking for Tyrone Williams. Pass is tipped. He tips it to himself and makes the catch inside the 30. Tyrone doing his DeQuil Williams imitation, and that moves the chains.
DeQuil gave him 5 on that one because that was a play that he normally goes and gets.
Setting up to run to the right, Dietrich Goff in. They give it to Dietrich, makes 2 steps, and bulls his way across and in for the touchdown. His second today, and that's what Dietrich Goff does.
That's what he does, just a typical Bulldog drive.
And welcome back to Bulldog Blitz. Well, of course, each week on our show, we profile some of our team leaders. We'll go back to the defensive side of the ball this week. One of our terrific young secondary players, defensive back Josh Keys.
We got used to it. We had help from the older guys, just motivating us, pumping us up, and the atmosphere of the crowd. I ain't never been playing in no atmosphere like that. Transferring to high school, so kind of like it.
Stay back. Stay back. Good job, bro. Keep moving your feet.
He just told us basically technique, get your technique down, and then go from there.
And Keys picks it up, tries to reverse his field, breaks a tackle. He's got room to the 30.
I got used to it in high school, running back kicks and playing both sides of the ball, so you kind of get used to it during the game.
Down to the 10, down to the 5, and diving in for the touchdown.
Pretty exciting for my first touchdown, but it got called back, so really I just got to try it again. Basically, you got to work hard every day or you lose your position.
And Coach, when you talk about Josh, you got a multifaceted player, plays defense and also runs back kicks on special teams. He should, as we see it, probably have a couple of touchdown returns for they got called back on penalties, but he's done a lot, as a lot of the freshmen have this year, taken on a lot of responsibility right out of the gate and just done a terrific job. He
has. You know, Josh came in and really made the transition really fast to, you know, from high school to being a starting corner in this league, which is a tough transition, and has done a tremendous job of locking down whoever the other team's top receiver is, has done a great job of playing the deep ball, has gotten some interceptions, and has also done a great job for us in the return game. He also does a great job of covering kicks. He plays contain on our kickoff coverage and has done a great job of keeping their return guys bottled up. So Josh has really had a good freshman year and needs to continue that on into the playoffs. You know, with Northwest has got a lot of very dangerous receivers and they're very explosive offensively, and big challenge for our whole defense this week. But, you know, Josh is one of the young guys, along with, you know, Derek Moncrief and Nigel Green and, you know, a lot of guys, Finis Armstrong, a lot of guys over in the secondary. We really counted on a lot of freshmen to come in and give significant minutes and be starters for us, and they've done a tremendous job. Really proud of the work that those guys have done over there.
Been fun to watch the secondary this year, and the whole team, by that matter, all the freshmen growing up and getting to this point this late in the season. Now, coming up after the break, we'll take a look at one of the other sports tipping off here at Gulf Coast. Heading into the break, the latest MGCCC Top 10 poll. After the big win last week, the Bulldogs move up to number 7. You're watching Bulldog Blitz here on WLOX.
It's a 3-day event, and we've got past history of tremendous competition. Great MVPs have come out of this bowl game, and it's a total team effort. Everyone at Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College just pulls together and pitches in, and the partnership that we have with Keesler Air Force Base has been tremendous. General Spacey has been very supportive, so looking forward to a great 2012 Mississippi Bowl. Our 5th year, we're hoping this will be the national championship game, but you know, we've got to have that Mississippi team ranked pretty high. So it's looking like that's a possibility this year, but if not, it's still got that championship atmosphere, and that's what we're going for. We want people to come and participate in a bowl game where they're going to have that, just the excitement, the atmosphere, like you said earlier, the pageantry. It is a true Division I atmosphere bowl game, and that's something we're trying to emulate and something we're proud of that we've been able to achieve, and we're going to continue in the future. A lot of bowl games that you go to, you've got a banquet and then the next day you play. Well, the Saturday of our bowl game allows those players to go out and just go out in the community, and our community event is going to the Boys and Girls Club, and that personalizes those players, and it gives them a day to relax where, hey, they're not in competition, they don't have to dress up and go to a banquet, so it's a real good buffer between the banquet, our kickoff dinner as we call it, and the actual game. So that has been a real success. The cheerleaders are there, the kids just have really enjoyed that, and we're going to continue that. I don't see any reason to not continue it. It's been a very big success.
And welcome back to Bulldog Blitz. You saw Dean of Athletics and Mississippi Bowl Chairman Ladd Taylor talking about the big game coming up in December. Make sure you get your tickets for that. And, of course, we'll be having more on that as the season goes on. Well, as this season gets into the latter part, the basketball season, they're just tipping off right now. Let's take a look at our men's and women's basketball teams.
It feels really good to know what we've done in the past and what we've accomplished in the past. Our kids have, worked hard the last 2 years. Those things that they've accomplished were great. The bad thing about all that is a lot of those kids are gone. So this has been a terrific rebuilding year for us. And as much as we're looking forward to it, we still have a lot of question marks. We don't know where we are. We've got an identity that we've got to find. Ideally in our situation, and I'm not, I don't know whatever, other junior colleges would like to see, but we would like to have about a half and half turnover. This year we lost probably 7-8 kids off of last year's team. We've got 2 starters returning and 1 other guy that played some. So we've got a lot of holes to fill, and we think that we've got some pretty good guys coming in, but they're young, they're inexperienced at this level, they're transfers, a couple of them that have not played in this system. So it's a huge learning process. Well, those 2 guys we're counting on a whole lot, give us a lot of leadership and a lot of experience coming in. They're both doing well in practice right now, but we would expect them to do well. I mean, they've been here for a year, they've been through the system, they know what they have to do, they know what the league's like, they know what the competition is. So it's just a matter of those guys, hopefully, as we go through this thing, helping the other guys to step up and learn.
Definitely excited. We have a lot of leadership from our sophomores this year, stepping up, getting the job done, and leading the way for the freshmen. Sophomores remember what it was like to not be able to make it to that tournament last year, and I think that has fueled their fire a little bit, and we're getting ready, and I am excited about this year for sure. At some point, there were six of the returners that started at one point or another. So they do have experience. They are setting the tone for our underclassmen and getting us ready for sure. I feel like the freshmen are going to be able to step in and get the job done without any question. Our subs will keep us going at the same level that our starters will be at, if not a step above. So I feel like we do have a lot of depth this year in both areas, at the post and at the guard position. The win at Dillard was exciting for everyone involved. And then when we went to the University of Mobile on Saturday, we actually played very well against the University of Mobile. We ended up falling short by 5 points. And then we beat Alabama Southern, which we usually play every year in the regular season. So beating them added fuel to the fire as well. I really feel like the girls are fired up, ready to get going.
And welcome back to Bulldog Blitz. You see the playoff schedule for this weekend. Of course, Gulf Coast taking on Northwest, Colin taking on East Mississippi. Before we talk about the big game with Northwest, how about former Bulldog, Vic Ballard, the running back for the Colts, the play of the week, and some people are calling the play of the year, that 16-yard touchdown pass. He flipped into the end zone to beat the Titans, and it's so much fun, Coach, to see how that just went viral in a good way, and how Vic is like the the flavor of the week. And you got to love that, starting 3 games and making a big contribution in the NFL.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by anything that Vic does, because he's very talented. We always talk about how hard Vic works and what a great worker he is, and what a great young man he is, and citizen and all that stuff. But Vic's a very talented guy as well, and he plays with a tremendous amount of heart. I mean, that touchdown was all want to, desire, and that's what Vic epitomizes. And so it was great to see other people recognize and Vic get to show that on a great scale, because we got to watch it right out here for 2 years. And then when he went up to Starkville, they fell in love with him, and now that he's at the Colts, I'm sure that they're going to see the same thing. So it's always fun to see other people see in a young man what you got to see, and it's great that the whole world now gets to see how great Vic Ballard is. And I tell you, you flipped over and the 49ers were playing, and they were talking about I don't remember who the 49ers were playing, but they were a tremendous return guy that they were playing. And to hear John Gruden talk about the 49ers have the best gunners in the NFL. Watch Tremaine Brock here from Long Beach. So Tremaine got great mention, talking about the top gunners in the game. Then you flip over and you watch Georgia in their tremendous game against Florida, the great Florida running game.
John Jenkins special.
John Jenkins did a great job of stopping their run. So, it's great to see the guys, once they leave here, move on and do the same things that at the next level that they did here. Really happy for those guys to get to see them experience tremendous amount of success at the next levels.
It's neat, and as I've said before, I can't keep up with it all. You just kind of ride the wave and watch how the former Bulldogs are going on to success in the NFL and in college. Well, getting back to the present, our current crop of Bulldogs taking on Northwest in the playoffs, and we're no strangers to playing them at this time of year. We've had success with them, but they have a terrific team coming in. They're number 9. They went toe-to-toe with East Mississippi earlier this year, and they've taken care of business. They've overcome adversity. They couldn't play that first game against Southwest due to Hurricane Isaac. They still almost ran the table, and they're coming in looking for the upset. They've got some terrific talent. That's going to be a huge challenge coming in this Saturday.
Yeah, no question. Northwest has a great football team on both sides of the ball. They're number 1 in the league in total defense. They're number 1 in rushing defense. So they've got some tremendous amount of speed on defense. They're not the biggest defense that we will have seen by a long shot, but a tremendous amount of speed. They got a great middle linebacker, number 34, can really run, and he's a great tackler. Their defensive tackle, he's a 6'1", 290, which we have played bigger guys, but that's plenty big enough. But tremendous amount of speed and quickness, makes a lot of plays in the backfield. Very good defensively. And then, offensively, they've got a big Cam Newton-style quarterback. He's 6'4", 6'5", 225, 230, very athletic, very mobile, and can sling the football and makes a lot of plays with his feet. He can pull the ball down and take off running. And a great ground game to go with it. So they're not a one-dimensional team. They can run and throw. I believe they're ranked 3rd in the conference in total offense, 1st in total defense. So very formidable opponent. Ricky Woods, who has won umpteen, state championships at the high school level and won a ton of football games at the junior college level. He had them undefeated 2 years ago during the regular season, and they're a touchdown away from being undefeated this year. So, a great football team coming in.
You were talking about how their quarterback, Dominique Harris, is just a big guy, Cam Newton-esque, and I heard some folks talking about the spread offense this week and how many defensive teams aren't afraid of the spread, but they are a little timid when you get the spread and you got a quarterback that can run as well, kind of like we have and kind of like they have. You throw that in, that just makes it even tougher.
Yeah, no question. any offense is made up, of course, of the players that run it. And, if you can run a spread offense without a quarterback that can hurt you, and the offense is not scary. Well, they've got a guy that can run and throw, so he makes the spread go, because if you do have all the receivers covered, then he can pull it down and scramble for a first down. And if you start spying people for him to pull it down and run, then he can hit the open receiver. So, he's a very good football player, and just like a triangle, the Chicago Bulls are in a triangle offense, and, it took a Michael Jordan and a Scottie Pippen to make a lot of people run a triangle, but it depends on who's running it. And same thing with the spread offense. If you've got a guy behind center that can make the decisions and is a great trigger guy, then you've got a great offense. And, Northwest has got a great quarterback. We're fortunate to have a great quarterback in Clint Hatton. So, the guy behind the center can definitely make a lot of decisions to make your offense go.
Yeah, you're going to see two of those this weekend in Dominique Harris and our Clint Hatton, who's up among the top 5 in touchdown passes this season. The mirror images almost each other you were talking about. They're good at stopping the run and running the ball. Should be a fantastic game this weekend. Of course, you can watch at MGCCCBulldogs.com via the video stream and listen at 103.1 FM, WOSM. Kickoff is at 2 o'clock. Remember last week we had hit from Bat Cave, North Carolina. This week I didn't see the Bat Cave. Maybe it was because of Halloween or something like that. We did have some views from France and also from Honolulu, Hawaii. So we continue to branch out across the contiguous 48 states and outside, if you will. So that's really neat to see. Well, the game comes up tomorrow, Northwest and Gulf Coast. Come on out and see it or watch it or hear it. You've got all those options. Whatever the case, it should be a terrific one. For head coach Steve Campbell, I'm Bill Snyder. Thanks as always for watching Bulldog Blitz. Have a terrific night and a great weekend.